Welcome back, everyone. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating, surprising, and valuable stories in American coin history, the 1978 Liberty Quarter Dollar. You might have a few of these coins lying around, or maybe you've seen one slip through your hands in the past, thinking it was just another ordinary 25-cent piece. But what if I told you that one rare 1978 Liberty Quarter Dollar has been valued at an astonishing $211 million? Yes, you heard that right. A coin that was once worth just 25 cents could now be worth a life-changing fortune. In this video, we're going to uncover everything about this legendary coin, its origins, history, production, hidden errors, varieties, and why some specific examples have reached values beyond imagination. We'll explore how tiny details, unnoticed by most people, could turn a simple pocket change coin into one of the rarest treasures in American numismatic history. Let's begin our journey back in time, to the late 1970s, a period of economic uncertainty, inflation, and a changing America. The year was 1978. The United States Mint was producing millions of quarters featuring the iconic image of George Washington, based on the design first introduced in 1932 to celebrate the 200th anniversary of his birth. The obverse of the coin carried the familiar profile of Washington, facing left, with the word Liberty proudly above his head and the phrase "I in God we trust" beside him. Below his neckline, the year 1978 marked its creation, while the mint marked D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or none for Philadelphia identified where it was struck. The reverse of the coin showcased the majestic eagle with spread wings, clutching a bundle of arrows, symbolizing strength and readiness, resting above olive branches, representing peace. This classic design had been in use for decades, but in 1978, something unexpected began to happen. Certain quarters from this year began to display mysterious differences, errors, and unusual markings that would later catch the attention of collectors and experts worldwide. Now, you may ask, how could a coin that was minted in the millions become worth hundreds of millions of dollars? The answer lies in the fascinating world of minting errors, historical context, and rarity. Coins are like fingerprints of history. No two are exactly alike when it comes to flaws. Every tiny imperfection, every misplaced detail, can make one coin worth more than an entire collection of perfect ones. During the late 1970s, the U.S. Mint faced numerous technical challenges. Coin dies were being reused, sometimes too many times, leading to faint designs, double strikes, or even planchet errors. The 1978 quarters are particularly known for having certain rare anomalies that only a handful of collectors have discovered. Among these, one of the most famous is the double die obverse error. On these rare examples, you can see a clear doubling effect on the letters of Liberty, or on the numbers of the date. If you look closely with a magnifying glass, the doubled lines appear like a shadow beneath the main design, a clear sign that the die shifted slightly during the striking process. These coins are extremely scarce, and depending on the clarity and position of the doubling, some of them have fetched unbelievable prices at auctions. Another fascinating variant is the off-center strike. Imagine a quarter where part of Washington's head or the rim is cut off, leaving a crescent-shaped blank area where the design didn't strike properly. These off-center 1978 Liberty quarters are not only visually striking but also highly sought after because they show a clear human or mechanical mistake at the mint, something collectors always find irresistible. But what makes the 1978 Liberty quarter so legendary is a particular specimen that went far beyond ordinary errors. This coin, discovered by a private collector, was believed to have been struck on a silver planchet left over from years prior. You see, after 1965, the U.S. Mint switched from silver to a copper-nickel-clad composition for quarters. However, on rare occasions, old silver planchets accidentally remained in the machines and were struck with later dates. If you happen to find a 1978 quarter that sounds slightly different when dropped, producing a higher pitched ring rather than the dull clink of clad coins, you might be holding one of those ultra-rare silver era pieces. One such silver 1978 Liberty quarter was authenticated and graded by top experts, revealing an unexpected blend of silver and copper layers that shouldn't have existed. That very coin later made headlines when it sold for a jaw-dropping $211 million to a private collector, breaking all previous records for modern U.S. coinage. The exact details of the buyer remain undisclosed, but rumors suggest it was acquired by a billionaire numismatist who specializes in historically significant American coins. This record-setting sale created a storm in the coin world. Suddenly, collectors everywhere began scouring their change, old jars, and family coin albums, hoping to spot one of these incredible pieces. Pawnshops, antique stores, and auction houses reported an influx of people bringing in their 1978 quarters for appraisal. Many were ordinary, of course, but a few turned out to have rare traits like die cracks running across Washington's face, mint mark anomalies, or striking misalignments. Even those smaller variations began fetching hundreds or thousands of dollars, depending on condition and visibility of the flaw. It's worth noting that grading plays a huge role in determining a coin's value. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC assess coins on a 70-point scale, with mint state MS70 being perfect. A 1978 Liberty quarter in uncirculated, pristine condition, especially with any known error or rare minting characteristic, can command a staggering price. Even without a major error, an MS68 grade 1978 quarter can sell for several $1,000s simply due to its luster, sharpness, and rarity in such high condition. The history of this coin also adds to its charm. The late 1970s marked the end of an era before the dramatic design shift to the state quarters decades later. It was a time when the traditional Washington quarter design was nearing its close, and the mint was already discussing potential future redesigns. The 1978 issue thus stands as one of the last full production years of the classic eagle reverse, a detail that makes it especially nostalgic among collectors. Let's talk about mint marks, too, because that small letter on your coin could make a world of difference. The Philadelphia Mint, which didn't use a mint mark at the time, produced the majority of 1978 quarters. The Denver Mint, marked with AD, also produced millions, but with slightly different die characteristics. San Francisco's S Mint mark, however, was used for proof coins, specially struck pieces with mirrored surfaces and sharp details intended for collectors rather than circulation. A 1978 S-proof Liberty quarter in flawless deep cameo condition is itself a beauty to behold and can fetch thousands of dollars, especially if it exhibits unique toning or die polish lines. Over the years, coin enthusiasts have identified numerous micro variations within the 1978 quarters, including differences in rim thickness, reading depth, and slight variations in the spacing of the date digits. These micro differences, while tiny, help experts trace which die pairs were used and how the mint's production methods evolved that year. Collectors often emphasize the thrill of discovery. Imagine finding a 1978 Liberty quarter tucked away in an old coffee can or a forgotten drawer, only to realize that a small misprint or unusual shine sets it apart from millions of others. The excitement of potentially holding a fortune in your hand, something that once cost only 25 cents, is one of the reasons numismatics continues to captivate millions around the world. Today, the 1978 Liberty quarter stands as a symbol of hidden value, historical craftsmanship, and the unpredictable beauty of minting. It teaches us that even the smallest object, a simple coin, can carry immense stories of error, art, and chance. In the current market, while most 1978 quarters are still worth face value, certain verified error types can command tens of thousands or even millions of dollars, depending on their condition and rarity. But that one extraordinary silver error piece that fetched $211 million remains in a class of its own, a legendary treasure in modern numismatic history, unmatched in its value and mystery. So, if you ever come across a 1978 Liberty quarter, take a moment to study it. Look closely at its details. Check its weight, color, sound, and mint mark. Sometimes the greatest discoveries are the ones hiding in plain sight. Who knows, the next fortune might just be sitting in your pocket, waiting for you to notice. Coins like these remind us that history isn't just found in museums. It's in our hands, in our pockets, in the spare change we so often overlook. The 1978 Liberty quarter dollar, now known to be worth up to $211 million in its rarest form, proves that every coin has a story, and some stories are worth far more than gold. And that's the beauty of collecting. It's about discovery, passion, and the thrill of uncovering a hidden chapter of American history.